everyone, my name is Daniel Reese and I'm with Ram Real Estate Incorporated. Today we're here at Fifth Third Bank and we're going to talk to Bryant Williams. He's going to walk us through the home buying process and how to get qualified for a home mortgage.
Hey, Bryant Williams, like you said, I'm with Fifth Third Bank. I am a Community Reinvestment Act loan officer, meaning I'm a CRA loan officer. I specialize in affordable housing and first-time home buyers, but we also do regular conventional FHA, VA, and all those construction and perm, just like we're going to be get ready to talk about. So when you go conventional, right? When we talk about conventional loans, there's a difference about what the bank is going to do and what actually is acceptable, right? Because we have our overlays, right? And our overlays is just saying, like with conventional, typically with conventional, you got to have a 620 or 640 credit score to go conventional, right? So their products are a little bit different. Typically with conventional, you want 5% down. We do have the Home Ready program that allows us to go 3% for first-time home buyers. So it's a great program as well that, say the borrower gets them and they get a break on their PMI, and this is going conventional. So the good thing about going conventional is conventional conventional gives you the opportunity to be a little bit more loose. You're going to pay for it in a rate because your rate is a little bit higher when you go conventional, but the requirements are a little bit more lenient when you're going conventional. So when I say that, like if you have student loans and you're on a income-based repayment plan and you go conventional, you can use the income repayment plan, right, to say zero out your student loan payments. So that increases your buying power, right? Going conventional, you go conventional after you're under 80% loan to value, you could get rid of the PMI. So if your PMI, if you didn't have the best credit or you had like a lot of things in your credit and your PMI is like an extra $190 a month, after you get to 80%, if you're conventional, you can get rid of the PMI.
Cool.
Like I said, with anything, it's really the credit score, it's credit score, collateral, and income.
Cool.
So if you got the credit score, because you have to understand, the underwriters don't know what you're looking. They don't know you. They haven't sat down and talked to you like you and I sit down and talk, right? Underwriter don't know that. The only thing the underwriter knows is they got your credit report, they see your score, they see that you either pay your debts or you don't. And you have to understand, if you're not paying your debts, that's like me asking you, hey, let me borrow $200,000. You're gonna look at me like I'm crazy if I already owe somebody else some money, right?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. So people don't understand that. So when I tell people this, be cautious when you think you're going to get into the home buying market. Understand that you're asking these people to lend you $300,000 and they don't even know you.
Yeah.
So we're going to go off your credit report. That's the credit part. The collateral part is the place that you're buying, right? So you wouldn't want to sit here and would you give me $80 for this plant? Probably not, right? Right, you probably wouldn't. You'd probably be like, no, I'll give you like $3 for it because that's what it's worth.
Yeah, for sure.
So collateral wise, we don't want to lend on stuff that doesn't have the value for it, right? Income wise, we want to make sure you can afford it.
Cool.
We don't want to we're not in the business of taking people's homes. People think, oh, well, the bank, they're just going to give you this loan so they can foreclose on you. The bank does not want your house. They don't want it. So we want to make sure that you qualify, you have the sufficient income to be able to afford that property.
Brian, is it true that veterans could get houses for zero down?
Yes.
How do they do it?
So the VA has so many programs right now for veterans, right? So the first thing that you want to do if you're a veteran, you go out, you talk to your loan officer, and we'll get a certificate of eligibility to see if you qualify for it, right? And then so what it is that the VA is going to guarantee that loan. So not only will you be able to get it with zero down, but you won't have PMI either.
Cool.
Okay. So you're gonna get special rates because it's a VA loan and it's backed by the government. So you're probably still gonna have the rate like if you were FHA, if not even lower than FHA. Just depending on where rates fall that day. So it's a great program. They have a lot of first-time homebuyer programs for VA. Actually, one of the things is like if you're doing hometown heroes, any veteran can apply for Hometown Hero, right? So you qualify just for being a vet. Doesn't matter what your job is. You could work at a gas station. You still qualify for Hometown Heroes because you were a vet.
Very cool.
And not only do you qualify, but you don't have to be a first-time home buyer to use Hometown Heroes if you're a vet. There are other programs like the Dare to Dream. You can use it, the Tampa Dare to Dream. As long as you're in the Tampa city limits, you could get up to $50,000.
Cool.
Right? And then on top of that, depending on where you're buying, so that's in the city of Tampa. But now if you're in like a municipality, like one of the CRA municipalities, such as East Tampa, West Tampa, Drew Park, Ybor City, they'll match what the city of Tampa gives you.
So you could stack first-time homebuyers programs.
Yes.
Very cool.
So, like we did one where a young lady, she got $40,000 from the city of Tampa. She bought in East Tampa, so she got another $40,000. She got seller concession of 3%. Then Fifth Third kicked in another $5,300 for our fees. We paid our fees and then gave her another $4,300 on top of that, right? So yeah, it's a lot of money, and she still could have done Hometown Heroes because she was a nurse. So we would have did Hometown Heroes. That would have added another $15,000.
Where do people sign up for these programs?
Man, you come in, you have to do the research, and we do that for you. You know, that's one of my jobs. Like I said, I'm a CRA loan officer, so my job is affordable housing and to make these programs available to people. You know, they have different counseling agencies. You have your Tampa Bay neighborhood housings. You have your Salitas House. You have your Reach. You have you know, those programs, those agencies. Those are not credit, but counseling agencies that are going to go out here, and you're going to do your first time home buyers, but you have to apply for those programs through them.
Very cool.
So
you're the hub of information.
Hub of information, man.
Awesome. How do people get in contact with you?
The easiest way to get in contact with me is to either email me at Bryant, Bryant.Williams@53.com, or they can call me 813-381-0329.
Very cool. If I want a construction and permanent loan, what does that mean?
So what that means is that you are looking for a loan that you either have a lot, a vacant lot with no structure on it, and you're looking to build your home, right? Or it means that you don't have a lot and you are looking to find your piece of land and build a home on it. Now, either way, we can finance both, right? So when you do a construction and perm loan, some people, you know, there's some entities that do it where you have two options. You can either do what they a single close, meaning that when you go to do the loan, when we first start and you get all your paperwork, we're going to do your loan right then and there. You're going to get your rate, what your rate's going to be from that day forward, right? So we do one close in the beginning, and it lasts for the whole 30 years, right? So the good thing about that is you don't have to qualify again for this loan after they finish construction.
Very cool.
Now what happens is, and I know some people are like, yeah, but now I have this rate and I'm paying this money for a property I'm not living in. Well, during the construction phase, you're only paying interest only. And then once you get the CO, the certificate of occupancy, once you get that and it's cleared, now you start doing the interest, principal and interest payments. So before you're only doing interest only. Now you have some loans where, okay, you qualify for it and you're paying up until during the construction phase. Once it gets permanent, you have to re-qualify and do another loan for the permanent structure.
Cool.
So sometimes you have a single close, and then sometimes you have a dual close. So we do a single close where, you know, you're gonna know what your rate, you're gonna know what your payment is. You're doing interest only all the way up until you finish the project.
Are you able to sell the home as soon as you build it?
So no, because when you sign that, you're saying that you're going to be, especially depending on the loan type that you're doing, because that would be a flip if you're doing that, cool. Right? So you're saying that you're going to be in that home for at least a year.
Perfect. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
what about self-employment? If someone's self-employed, could you help them buy a home?
Great question. So that's always a good topic, because when people are self-employed, People don't think about some of the things as an entrepreneur. You're thinking, at the end of the day, um, you're like, hey, my job, you want to keep as much money in the house in your pocket as you can, right? So a lot of people they like to write off things on their taxes. But as a bank and a lender, when we talk about people that are self-employed, you have to understand we're going off your taxable income.
Of course.
So just because you had a great year, you made $200,000 this year, but you wrote off $150,000. You don't make $200,000 a year anymore. Now you make $50,000 a year.
Okay.
So when we qualify you, we're only qualifying you on your taxable income, which was the $50,000 that you claimed because you wrote everything else off. So you have to be careful when it comes to that. And that's just a rule of thumb when it comes to self-employment. We're gonna look for at least 2 years tax return, right? So we get 2 years tax returns. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you the average between the two, and that's how we do the self-employment.
Cool. W-2s?
W-2. So when you're a W-2 employee, it's just saying that you're not, that you're not self-employed. You're working for a company. The good thing about it, when you're W-2, as long as you don't have variable income, which means that you're like variable income or hours, you go from 30 hours to 35 hours, 36 hours, and it changes. When you're a W-2 employee, we can go off your hourly wages, or we can go off the average of the 2 years, right? The only time that we really go off the average of the 2 years is if your income is declining or you get commission. So if you're getting overtime or commission, you've been at your job, that same job, for 3 to 4 years, and you're getting overtime, well, now we could give you credit for overtime. If you've only been at that job for, say, a year, 6 months, a year, something like that, but you're getting all this money, but because you're working a lot of overtime, well, we can't count the overtime. What we'll do is we'll give you either go off your pay rate, your hourly rate, or we'll go off the average of your W-2s. Your W-2s is just to support your pay stub, whatever you give me on your pay stub, right? Because everybody's not as honest as you and I. So they'll give you a pay stub, and then it's like that pay stub says, hey, they make $32 an hour. I get the W-2s, and the W-2s say you actually only make, $22 an hour. So you have to be able to show 2 years of income, whether you're 1099, W-2, or self-employed. Either way, we want to see 2-year income history.
2 years of income. Perfect. And the minimum credit score?
Once again, that depends. So, like I said, if you're depending on who you're with, if you go through like a broker, and I'm telling all the secrets right now. So if you go through like a broker, the minimum credit score is going to be whatever FHA allows, right? So they'll go down to 580. With the banks, we have overlays. Our minimum credit score is 600. We start at 600, and that's going through FHA with those Dare to Dream programs, those first-time home buyer programs. Now, what you do need to understand is if you're going through some of these programs, they have qualifying credit scores. Hometown Heroes, the bond loan, they have qualifying credit scores. You have to have a 640 for those programs. If you're going Dare to Dream, you have to have a 600 for that program. So some of these first-time home buyers, they have programs, credit score requirements as well. So it just depends on what program you're going through.
What about for veterans?
Veterans there's no required credit score for a veteran. Once again, that bank might have an overlay and say, hey, we still want you to have at least a 620, a 600 if you're going VA.
So what does this bank have?
We're 620.
Cool.
Yeah, so to go VA, we require 620.
So, Bryant, tell us, if everybody wants to get in contact with you, how do they go about doing so?
Look, if you want to get in contact with me, you can reach me 2 ways. You can reach me at Bryant.Williams, BRYANT.Williams @53.com, or you can call me on my cell phone right here, 813-381-0329.
And where down we